Everybody, welcome back to the SupaDopeFresh podcast. It's your main man, SupaDopeFresh.
And I'm D Black.
And we got the young brother Emmitt, aka You Ain't Seen 78 up in the building.
You ain't seen. What's happening?
You ain't seen in the house.
What's happening?
Man, it's good to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Mr. You Ain't Seen, if y'all don't know,
It's been a while.
You Ain't Seen is Emmitt Robinson, aka our younger brother. But Emmitt has grown in popularity over the years just with his ability to customize clothes and shoes. And we wanted him to bring some of his shoes out and talk to us about his journey.
Bring out the fire.
Yeah. So you'll see behind us, we got a couple shoes, got some on the table right here. But we're just gonna get into talking to Mr. You Ain't Seen just about your background. You know, I think last time we talked to you, it's been a minute now.
Okay.
So just fill us in on what, or really what made you get into art. Like, let's go back. Let's go back to about, let me see, my first good memories. Go back.
Let's go back to about, you gotta go back to about 85.
85.
1985.
That's a good year.
So ever since I can remember, I just did art, or we just did art. So coming from an art family like that, we everybody doing what they doing. So I'm watching y'all.
Yeah.
I'm watching number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in case you didn't know,
you number 5.
I'm number 5.
He's number 5 out of
I'm number 5.
It's 8 of us, so you number 5 of 8.
Number 5 or 8. So what happened was, as I grew up, we were just doing art in school. That's my favorite subject. That's all I know how to do. Well, it's not all I know how to do, but that's what I'm known to do. I said, man, this must be a gift. So I don't. Let me say this. I don't feel like I need to put no disclaimer about it. Cause we come from a faith-based family, so when we talk about God, I don't want to take no credit for what I can do. Cause I always told people, and I felt like this a long time. If I get fired on my job today, I know I can do art. I know how to make something. So way back in the day, this is what I do. You know,
were you ever selling your art? I know all of us had.
I said we're gonna go back. Let's take it back to 85.
I was drawing Ninja Turtles for quarters.
Let me tell you something, man. I was in elementary school and I kept my money in a Ziploc bag. I was drawing them quarter pictures. I went to $1.
Okay.
And the thing about me, I was strict with my money. I used to come home. Before I started putting my money under the mattress, I used to iron my money.
I forgot about that. You did.
Iron my money.
You did used to iron your money.
I want I have my one's facing. I gotta have my one's facing.
I forgot about that.
I gotta have my money facing. But that's what I did. So, but I didn't just come up with that. I was watching y'all do y'all thing. So I didn't have from where we from. We we weren't on TV.
Yeah, there was no TV.
Let's get that straight.
No TV.
No TV until we was older. We was much older.
Yeah, no video games.
None of that. So,
Yeah, if you went outside, if you was in the house, you was either reading or drawing.
Reading or drawing. Or one of the things that's funny about us, we're going all the way back to how I got started with, if a Robinson can't explain what we talking about, give me a piece of paper. And we used to always trying to explain it, and we can draw it out. So I'm watching everybody do their thing, and I didn't really have like role models like that. So I ain't. Maybe Herschel Walker was balling, so we sports and art, but we didn't have a TV to watch that stuff. So I didn't really have role models. The only people I had to look up to were my older brothers and my older sister. So that's the role model. That's the mark. That's my thing.
I mean, you still have stuff like I remember the story. One of the stories was you were into T-shirt designs before even I was, because I remember coming home and you had this one, Shirts for Freaknik. Back then, Atlanta had this big festival. It really wasn't a festival. We just kind of took over the streets for a whole week every year, and it wasn't organized. Nobody was backing. It was just a bunch of black people really doing what we want to do. And but I remember just seeing these Freaknik T-shirts in the house. Like, how did that job come about?
Well,
what grade were you in when that happened?
May have been my 8th grade year, but before that, I was in school. I was probably doing what y'all was doing. They used to have contests, and I used to always get in the contest, and I would win these contests. I didn't have it like everybody else.
You won the Daryl contest to go to Michael Jackson's house.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I forgot you went to Michael Jackson's house.
Want to make it out the hood with
Michael Jackson.
We was on the The news came in and filled the family.
That was like 88. No, actually that was 90. 88. I mean 89 or 90.
Cause we was in apartments then.
89 or 90.
We was in apartments because I remember they came in and they filmed us. Yeah. I was mad because our mom babysat all the time, so they called me. One of the kids my mom babysat. I was standing on the front porch and I couldn't have been there by 9th grade, and I'm holding this baby. So they made the story, made us look so poor. And like, man, this little poor kid just won a trip to Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. I never forget that because I remember looking at TV and feeling so embarrassed because I had that baby. And they made it look like that was my son. And I'm like, man, early. It showed you how even back then they were shaped. But I was so happy for you though. Like, you know what? Tell us about that experience.
Let me tell you about this experience.
You went to Michael Jackson's ranch.
Before we get
we used to tell you about that too.
Cause Michael Jackson one day, he was sick at the time, he had the flu or something, so I ain't see Mike, so we let you have. This is what really happened. So at the school, as the contest was getting, you make it to the next round, dude, I was getting crushed at school. Really? Dude trying to beat me up, and I'm the teacher's pet, and I'm this and I'm that. Look, I was getting crushed at school for just participating. It was not cool to do what we were doing. I think art is the only thing that kind of saved me from a lot of stuff because I was kind of lame. We didn't get like I said, we preacher kids.
I didn't get friends with
preacher kids, so we couldn't do everything. But art was the thing that made me cool. I could play ball a little bit. I couldn't play like Jerald playing. I didn't have the size, but I just played because they were playing. But art was the thing that made me cool to everybody. Now everybody. Now this is a long time ago. If you're watching this, a long time ago. So everybody like art. You know who like art too? The girls love the artists.
Ladies.
That was the thing that's the thing that get you got because the guys, the sports guy, they're like, hey, how you talking? I wasn't even trying to do that, but some kind of way art just introduced me into a lot of different people. So as I won these contests, and I
remember like any poster contest.
I was always in reflection
on the rap.
Yeah, anything.
It's like your name was always coming up.
Anything. So I did the yearbook one year for the middle school, and we had a substitute teacher. I think his name was Mr. Nelson. I still see him from time to time over at the high school, and he saw in class as a substitute one day I was doing my drawing thing, and he asked me what I do on the t-shirt design. I ain't know no money was getting involved or none of that. I was like, cool. I mean, I ain't know nothing about no Freaknik was or nothing. I did know that I couldn't go.
Right.
I knew it was something that you want. This ain't something that you supposed to be in the 8th grade. At the Freaknik. Anybody know about the Freaknik?
Yeah, we got some old footage that I'm glad it's lost right now, and I just pray nobody will find that footage.
That's my past. Yeah. I wasn't involved with that kind of thing like that. Anyway, but we tried to get out and do different things like that.
No, we had customers from everywhere early on.
Yeah. So what happened was I got introduced to the t-shirt business, and I had my stash of t-shirts, and and I just kept mine for like I couldn't believe when he brought me that box of shirts. I couldn't believe that I had created something, and it probably one of the best. It was the best I thought.
It was free. It was popping.
Man, it was straight.
It was the first t-shirt that I had seen any of us design that was.
Nobody did nothing like that way back.
But that's what it was. So as I grew into fashion and.
Now why you skipping over Michael Jackson story though? What happened?
Let's go back to that. Let's get back to that.
What happened at the ranch?
This is what happened.
Like was that your first airplane flight and everything?
That was the first airplane flight. I do remember the backlash. The thing that was hurtful about it was the backlash that our parents got over some nonsense.
Yeah, I remember.
These were from people. Now these from people that we know.
Right. It always
that we still know. It for one, and I'm just being straight honest. 100. Keep it 100. They got a lot of backlash, and I remember I was hurt by that. For one, it was just kind of like how the story was shared, the light, how it was shown. I mean.
They really try to make us look poor.
Yeah.
And we weren't well off, though. They're not.
Not at all. But we were straight. We were
good.
But the other part about it was that what we do or what we end up becoming was so what people were calling at that time worldly. You let your kids do that. You gonna let your kid go.
That's
and
right.
And I had
For those who don't know, we grew up in a holiness church. So,
right.
Yeah.
So our church life is a very strict belief system where we just have a code, a code we live by.
So we in living by that, and I felt like my parents were proud. They were proud of all of us for we just making stride with the little bit we had. So if you ask me where I'm from, who am I, and how did I get into it, a lot of it is straight up out of necessity. Necessity.
Yeah.
You trying to get your coins. You trying to get your money up. You trying to
eat.
Yeah.
Or if it weren't for that,
have some new clothes.
You didn't have the new kicks. You had them hand-me-down from your cousin them who had it.
Right.
So out of necessity, you want to freshen yours up. So if it wasn't nothing but now, I ain't seen this in a long time. Back in the day, Ajax and the toothbrush was a must.
You get that little.
How many people y'all know right now got a bottle of shoe polish? Shoe polish was a must back in the day.
Right.
So out of necessity, you want to switch yours up. So you might paint them. You might switch the shoestring. You're gonna do something to your shoes.
Remember the fan laces?
The boys in there.
Yeah, I remember that.
But you wanted to make your,
especially before school started, because a lot of times we couldn't get the new shoes because it was too many of us.
Yeah, we got the dirty bugs. We got them bugs. The bobos.
So what you did?
The Clarks.
But I just remember, like you would find your cleanest pair of summer shoes, and you were like the Sunday before school started. We all got our toothbrushes, got that jar with the soap, the baking soda, whatever we had, and we trying to clean them.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
So I would say for the most part, out of necessity and just being creative, you just trying to do your thing and trying not to get picked on too much.
He's right. We weren't really just shining. We were just doing.
But what happened in the era we grew up in, like colors and everything were popping back then.
Right.
Like being different and unique was popping. So like now we look at it now, everything kind of cookie cutter. But back then, you couldn't really bite out. You couldn't do all that biting and trying to.
Man, you get caught out so fast for trying to look like somebody else.
You got to have your own style. And then back then, being unique was like that was the thing. You want to be unique, but not having what others had and all. That's kind of what led me into art and kicks and what got me really the thing that just jumped off for me with the sneakers. Since that's kind of why I'm here. Pops came home with they weren't retros at the time, but he had those fours.
That was just falls. And
y'all know what it was? He had the white, black, and red.
One pair.
One pair. So I'm talking about like at that time. You remember Michael Jordan was it? The dunk contest, all that. Mike Kenny Fly was. Right. So for my love for I don't want to say my love for sneakers, but just I'm like
passion for it.
Yeah, they had a passion for a real passion for the sneakers and whatnot, and I couldn't wait to wear them.
Man, them things got passed down to all of us.
Come here, man. Look,
all of us wore them Jordans.
By the time they got to me, they were done. They were straight up finished. They were finished. I think. You know what? I wore them anyway. I ain't even care, man. They were done. The bottom, everything was cracking up. The bubble probably was bursting.
Right, man.
Nobody cared. It was just fresh. Like,
so I had from that point on, man. We didn't mix that we didn't have, man. As I got older, man, I just kind of it was art. Everything to me was art. It was color. And as I got further along into it, it wasn't just the sneaker itself or a name brand. It was the silhouette of it, how it was made, and the style of it and all that. Because like I said, everybody was doing their unique thing at the time, and it was so many different kinds. It wasn't Jordan at the time. Now let's get this straight. Back then in like 89 and 90, we was sporting like we had to either what they call the dope man, the dope man.
That's where K-Swiss was.
You had British Knight. You had Patrick Ewing was booming. Yeah, you remember Patrick Ewing? If you had some Ewings, you was on. L.A. Gill was popping. L.A. Gill was popping. All these different name brands and everything were going.
You had choices.
So that what just allow my mind to just not be stuck on one particular thing. So by the time I got into high school at the time, we were working, doing what we could, and I was still drawing for people. I was still making a little money.
Even what you doing cheerleader megaphones back then?
Not at the time. The first my first one of the first things I did, I think I may have done the first student mural.
Yeah.
At East Park.
We've always been doing murals.
So when I did that,
as big as
man, that's just pretty much what we known for. If you were Robinson, you supposed to be able to draw.
Yeah.
That's what we were known for.
People assume that.
So it was kind of like I was part of the Robinson clan or Jerald little brother. That's what it was, little brother.
One of the Robinson boys.
But I think you did a great job in branding yourself. You know, not being stuck in our shadows. Like you held your own.
Yeah.
Like you made your own name, you made your own way, and now like you're known for this.
Yeah. So if I had to just say who I was, man, I was a little bit of everybody that I was looking up to at the time. So I didn't care. I really didn't care because I didn't understand about art to the point where I get graded on my art in school. I'm like, why I ain't get 100? Cause my stuff was pop. Yeah. But I thought it was anyway. But what I needed was. I needed all my brothers and my sisters to put me there. Hey man, this type. All I needed was that approval. So that's what I was. Then this under. That's what I was looking for. Or that's what I was. Hey, if I draw this right here, and if they tell me one time, all it took was one time. Hey man, this fly, this tight, or whatever word we were using back then.
Family says dope.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
so
man.
like I said, the role models, man.
We kind of still like that though. We such a close knit family. Like it's like telling somebody that the other day, like all my friends. I look around, my friends really my brothers. Like that's family. Like to get inside of that circle. There's a few that's inside of that circle, but it's hard.
We got a few Ninth Robinsons.
Well, it's kind of it get when you get into that, it's kind of it get unusual. It's uncomfortable for people to be that close to family because a lot of times now they family not tight.
They don't come from that.
Like everybody got a kumbaya and get along like that. And I honestly say we might not be like that. We don't have all the same ideas, and we don't all.
Yeah, we don't all believe the same. But
the thing about it is we so tight and we work so well together that it baffles me when people can't see how y'all do that. What do you mean? Ain't everybody doing this?
Right.
So that's how I kind of feel about it.
Even coming from that big family background, it's always been about like we've all had to help each other. When I left and went to college, then he got to take care of the family. When he leave, like and so fortunate, at some point it was your time to take care of the younger brothers and sisters. And it just kept going, and I've seen that transcend into your business now. Like I've seen you do shoes for you coach Little League football, so I've seen you paint cleats for your kids on the team.
So I kind of ran with that back in the day too. Like that was one of the things. Like you know when you poor, you ain't got. And you say in my mind, like man, when I get, we get. Right. So I actually quit playing football my junior year. I remember the coach being all disappointed. I did not get
because you was good though, man. You was one of the few people that wasn't scared to, on special teams. I done seen you run punch back.
We thought he was like Deion Sanders.
You know what I told
prime time.
You know what I told the coach, man. This is a true story. I was like, dude, you know what, man? He like, Robinson. I noticed you wasn't at the meeting. The spring meeting. You know we had the spring meeting in the cafeteria. I was like, dude, man. You know what? Y'all had been to college. The top four, first four had went off to college.
I was gone.
So I was like, man, I'm tired of being broke. So you mentioned going to school and cleaning off those shoes. We were still doing this in high school.
Right.
We didn't have it like that.
Right.
So I was like, man, we finna get put. I went to work at I think it was Burger King or something like that.
Making that paper.
And when I got paid, when I said we got put on, we might have been getting our stuff from the fleet. Y'all remember, or 285 fleet. Camera Road. Man, look.
What's that Glenwood Drive where you get the sock man?
Sock man.
East Atlanta.
Sock man. You got to catch sock man on the train sometime. But when I started getting, that's what it was. It was just spreading. So when I got some sneakers, I might get 2 pair. I might get me some. I remember running down to Montgomery.
I'll tell y'all a story about that one later.
All right, we'll catch up.
A couple of those stories, sneaker stories, what got me into it.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break right now.
All right.
But definitely want to pick back up on where we left off.
Okay.
And thank you for joining us today on the SupaDopeFresh podcast. We'll see y'all in a few minutes.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Welcome back to the SupaDopeFresh podcast.
We back. It's your main man Bolo Fresh, and we got You Ain't Seen Since Number 5 all the way live. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's pick back up on where we left off at. You were just talking about your transition into now. Like
So what happened was when I really started thinking about it, I was getting encouraged by y'all to do something with what y'all was already. Everybody was kind of in business doing their thing, but what I was doing, I was at the park. You know, I was coaching at the time, ballpark, and I was going around. Everybody was, you know, doing the T-shirt order, and I didn't have no business cards. I don't think at the time or nothing. And I was asking people, you know, would you like me to make you a shirt or whatever? Right. You know, everybody knew what I was doing. But there's one gentleman, and this was kind of a turning point for me to view how I see others and how I greet others. And you talk a lot of time about relationships. Right. And this dude just came so hard at me, man, go ahead on with that, man. You what your business card? You a member of this business club, and you got all your stuff together and this. And I was like, dude, I could, at the time, man, I could be robbing you. I'm just asking, would you like, that's how I felt. And I couldn't, like, there was somebody that looked like me, so, and it was an older gentleman, I knew him, but I couldn't believe how he was coming at me, and I was just trying to, you know, just do a little something. Make
honest money, huh?
Yeah. So the way he was coming off at me, like, I was like, man, and I just remember you talking about that, because we did some other menu. You know, we kind of stayed together a long time. I would travel different places with you and see how you move, whatever. And I was like, man, I'm not gonna treat people like that. I'm not gonna do that. So moving on up to now, like when I really hit big, my first T-shirt sale after we did the relapse.
That's right.
And they let me set up my little corner, whatever. I did a shirt, and this is how I knew art goes past color, art goes past class. I did a shirt for this punk rock bass player that I knew, and I ain't charged maybe like $20. When I gave it to him, and then this dude, he already had their band shirts in the mall and whatever. It's not Journeys. I can't even think of the store now to sell all the different T-shirts. It might have been Spencer's.
Right. Spencer's. Like
he was already made. I gave that dude that shirt, man. That dude, man, he was excited about it, right? So let me give you some money. This dude peeled off some crispy $20 bills. I thought it was a 20. I got home and counted that money. The dude gave me $100.
Oh wow! Off one T-shirt.
Off one T-shirt, but I was like, man, you might be alright. But at that time, that killed all of what dude had told me about not being legit. And I was like when I meet people now, I want to have a good relationship with them.
It's all about relationship.
That art goes past the art. What art has taken me now is into where I might not be accepted in one place. Art will put you there. Art has taken me across the lines of racism.
Oh yeah.
I got some friends now, like dude wasn't really dealing like that, but because hey man, I got you, I'll hook you up. You know, I had this situation where this person had a child that really couldn't get down like everybody else was getting down, and I saw that, but I had already had a run-in with this person who wasn't really feeling me in my color.
Right.
Let me tell you something. When I did that thing to the shirt, at this time at this time I know what I'm doing. Right. I know what I'm trying to get out of this back and forth.
Right.
From that point on, I'm like, we even today, the guy might be close to 20 years old, we good. Right. The parents, we good, but art did that. I might not altogether knew what to say at the time. I know, you know, I'm not real confrontational.
You gotta keep moving though. You can never discredit somebody's hustle or their business based on what your perception of what they're supposed to have, whether they got business cards, whether they got a business license. Like as long as we always talk about a value exchange. As long as you got something that they need and they can assign a value to it, you can do business with them. And that's a universal rule. That's gonna always be.
So you treat, but I mean, so many times I'm just watching from afar because remember now I'm just riding around with you. I'm going to different shows and stuff. And this is when you might have been in the entertainment a little bit more than you are as far as your production or being in the studio back in the day doing CDs, making CDs, whatever.
Man, we was all over it.
But I'm watching how if you got bad relationships, and you might still have some folks that deal with you that might not deal with your other partner because he don't want to do right. Right. So I learned from that, just you got to treat people right. So now what I do now is I try to take my business. I intentionally try to take my business or take what I know. I won't say take your culture and you teach people.
Right.
You show them, and it's more than shoes and kicks. This is just a starter. A conversation.
That's a conversation.
That's how we say through
That's all
that
it is.
branching off.
That opens a door for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like art can open a door for you. Or really not just your talent. Anybody that has a talent, whether it's dance, art, music, speaking, you know, you use that to open a door and it's going to help you travel. It's going to help you see the world. We talked about you being the first one in the family to fly on a plane.
That was just,
you know what I'm saying? It's all of this stuff comes from art.
That was a point for me where I knew I could make it. When my little brother that made it, got on the plane, he flying out to Cali, I'm like, I know I can make it now. You know,
but so what the thing about me, I take it back to what I said in the beginning. I don't really take credit for none of this because I know in no way everybody in the family, I give all the credit to God because no way, I don't know another family like ours. Where everybody doing the thing. Everybody got a different talent, and then to make the thing showing up big. When we get together with what we doing, man.
Let's talk about your process. Like,
all right.
Like, take this part. Like, how do you start? Like, so you got somebody that wants some shoes. They either give you a new pair of shoes, they give you an old pair of shoes. But where do you go from there?
So I love doing this. This might have been a new. Well, this was a used pair, but this is one of my favorite pairs that I've done. And that's for Big Cuz. Shout out to Big Cuz. Undercover Sneakerhead Lexi B.
Yeah.
She I'm trying my best to get on this show because she can talk to you about some things, some style and you know all that good stuff. But the process, you start with a thought, and I don't want to take credit for this colorway, but she, you know, when you looking, she saw this on the gram and
And were those old shoes she already owned?
Yeah, these some white on white. So these started out, and then you know sometimes when you scuff a white pair of shoes. Yeah, they ain't quite the same, man. You just can't.
That's why sneakerheads be buying like 4 pairs.
Yeah, you can't really just rock them like that. So they stuck up in the closet and hey, let me see what I can do with them. And I told just look around, and this was when I was kind of just getting into.
So do you already see in your mind what colors will be, or you just go with?
Sometimes I do, or sometimes I ask the client what color you see, what colors you like, what you feeling. And we go from there. So she found a pair that she liked, on social media, and we just ran it, and it came out beautiful. And the process, if you do it right, it's a long process. If you want to do it right, if you want your stuff to last, you got to break the shoe down.
Because I've seen some like the paint starts cracking or chipping. Like what type you use? The Angelus paint?
Angelus paint or Jacquard. But what you want to do, you want to take your time. It's not, if you do it fast, you're going to get a fast result, and then it's going to crack and peel and all that stuff. But you got to follow. I started watching YouTube videos, just like a lot of others, that start doing it was a show. I used to watch this thing called Sneaker Pimps and Sneaker Wars and stuff like that.
Right.
And I just watched them. The first pair I painted, I just went straight to the shoe, but then I found out, no, you got to break down the leather.
You learn the science behind the paints.
You got to
So before you even start painting, you basically treat the leather.
Yeah, acetone or deglaze or whatever. But then I said, you don't just glob the paint on there. You want to put thin, even layers on there. And that's going to give you a nice finish.
Yeah, like even that deep red right there, like how many coats?
Yeah, that
might have been like six to 8 light coats.
Yeah,
that's why I want to let people know this look like it's just a simple colorway and whatnot, but that take a lot
to get those deep colors like that.
Precision on the small details.
And that was my first pass. So some of the details I missed, but in the process of trying to be creative when I am, given that creative space, I go off what I feel. So if I ain't really feeling it, I can't do it. Now I done miss a lot of money doing some stuff I just don't feel.
Now I have noticed that about you. You don't take you're very selective about who you work for, and it's not really even about the money. I think we're all like that.
I done missed a lot of opportunities just because there's some places I ain't going, and there's just some people I ain't gonna too much care to be around. And then I ain't trying to diss nobody or nothing like that. So don't please don't hit me wrong. But it's just some things that if I ain't feeling it, I feel like I'm a true artist. If I ain't feeling art, I can't paint like I want to.
That's something that's hard to explain.
Let somebody take you outside of your element.
So it's like having writer's block.
Yeah.
When a writer can't write.
I'm like that with everything I do. Like if I'm not feeling it, it's best for you to go find somebody that can jump on it, because I can't commit mentally to every project. because I'm not feeling it. Like
you say yes anyways, there's gonna be some halfway work.
It's that point where like you said something key earlier. You said relationship. So if I don't have a relationship with you, it's really hard for me to really work with you. Yeah. So we gotta sit down and talk. Like you gotta meet me somewhere. We gotta be at Starbucks, at my house, Waffle House, somewhere. Well, we got to get to know each other.
So a lot of times over the phone and email and all that don't do it for me. So I've always been in the street with it. One of the gifts that I found out of people that told me that I have is a gift of talking to people, and I kind of
man, you've been all over Atlanta. You was in spots in Atlanta, like you was out in Adamsville and places, but you was in places where I never went. Where I'm like, man, I ain't going out there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But you thrived in those environments, like you from the ghettos to the church. People have always accepted you.
I'm gonna tell you where I got that from. I got that from Pop. You take him anywhere. I'm talking about from the
Pop like that.
I remember back. This would go back a little bit to when HIV and AIDS really. I saw him, a person that we know who contracted the disease, whatever, and he talked to the person so regular. We was up in Scottsdale. I'm talking about dude just walked up to them and popped them really. And, he ain't just go all in and just embracing on and touching on. But the way he was handling that person, I just kind of took that and I was like, man, that's how you do that.
Yeah, Pop's always been.
And you was talking about going in different spaces. What I learned, you respect folks' space.
Man, he's still that. I remember just being in Decatur. We used to stay in Decatur in the summers. You just walking around. Hey, you Emmitt's son.
That is.
Hey, you Emmitt. You one of the Robinson boys. It's like we had instant credibility because of him.
It's the way he treated people, and he showed us how to do it. And I use the same thing with Mark. And like I said, we going into different places that I normally probably wouldn't be able to get into.
Right.
Different people that I met. I probably wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for the art, or not only the art, but knowing how to do, or knowing my role, knowing my lane. I ain't trying to outshine nobody. I do want my stuff to be right, and I do want it to be seen in the right light.
I respect that about you. One of the things that I know we touch on is that we are a family that grew up in the church. Like we don't run from that fact, and you're still heavily involved in the church. And one of the things that we talked about is just how we still able to do what we do and still keep it within the confines of what we believe.
Still on home base.
I believe that's one of the reasons why we are blessed in a lot of the things that we do. I really believe that, because other than that, you can't really explain it.
The shoe culture is a whole other phenomenon right now. You got a shoes trade like stocks right now.
Yeah.
Corporations are taking over the whole shoe game. Like they making shoes cost so much money, and they probably paying $5 to make them, or less than that for some.
You know, church people wear shoes though.
They got to.
Everybody rocking shoes, man.
Growing up though, sometimes they made you feel bad. Like you said, like if you got a nice pair of shoes, sometimes you was made to feel like y'all shouldn't wear those.
Yeah, like you can't
have that because
we're in a holy
you're
church.
sanctified. You're supposed to be sanctified.
We don't wear Jordans. We don't wear name brands. I'm like, where that come from? But the
how they say, give me Bible for it.
I have some scripture for a name brand. But at the same time, I recognize how Dad was doing. Like I said, he got the first pair of Jordan that I can remember in my family.
Was the freshest dude.
But the thing about that was, I also seen Daddy give to the hurt. When you give to the hurt, that don't mean like when you got a shirt you want to give. You done cut grass.
I see him take a watch off his wrist.
Boom.
He still do that though. I had to fuss at my pops for giving away he collect watches. I had to get on him about it. And then I can't be mad because I don't buy shoes. Like everybody know me, I'm corporate. So when I work in corporate America, all my Stacey Adams and all my high-end dress shoes come from my dad.
So he still
doing
this. So I do the same. Man. It's the same thing, and it helps in being able to deal with so many different kind of people, and knowing what your lane is, and knowing that you're not necessarily, especially with my family, you're not in a race, and you can't. I don't know anybody who can do business standing on your own. I'm talking about nobody.
Right.
I'm only gonna deal with church people. No. I'm only gonna deal. Well, let me go on and say it. Be 100. I'm only gonna deal with black people because we need to support each other. Yeah, that's cool. But You got to deal with
business all the way down.
You putting yourself in the box. So getting outside of that box, I'm only gonna support and deal with a certain. I learned a long time ago. You can't operate like that because when I got taught in school, I didn't go to a what you call a black school, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. But our parents let us see outside of 285.
Our family is diverse. And even when we host breakdancing events, we invite you out to our breakdance events. My first couple of times, I was scared. I'm like, man, this boy ain't gonna come out here, man. Y'all playing this rap music. Y'all got all this stuff. He ain't. But you would come and set up a table outside in the hallway, and you would get just as much love as anyone.
Vibing out with everybody.
And I always appreciate that.
It's a thing about support, man.
It's business too.
So I wouldn't come to an event and bring a Bible and go in there trying to teach about Peter and Paul.
Right.
If I'm in there doing cause this is my business, and I recognize this. I lost a lot of business. I be on social media and you come across my page with some nonsense, I might block you. I might not friend you or whatever. But when you put yourself in the box and you in business, you trying to make money, you can't just sell your shoes and sneakers and t-shirt to church people, because church people gonna run out of money after you done sold to all the folk you know.
We talk about that all the time. You gotta get outside your people.
But then even then though, it's your ability to go in those areas and connect with people, you're able to give them a conversation that they may have needed. Because you're gonna have a different conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna talk about some things that may help change their life or save their life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just by being there, being available. Like you in the places where most people don't go, and I always respect those people that are able to put themselves in those situations.
But if I'm gonna be real with you, not only did I see Daddy do, but I kind of know where he got it from. That's what the apostles did. So I wouldn't want to turn this into no Bible study. But a lot of times, if you, like myself, if I'm a Christian, you can't just deal with the people who look like you or feel like you or agree with you and all that kind of stuff. Especially when we talking about business. I think that's not going to work.
That's a big problem in the communities now is just you got these mega people and churches and even the smaller ones. Like they're so confined to their community, to their people. And all around, you right through any hood. All around that church building, you can go to any black community and you got multiple liquor stores. You got junkies walking up and down the street, and you got this big white beautiful church with these gates around it where they can't even get in to the building for help. And so it's that feeling. I like that you using your talent basically to branch out and make sure you touch everybody. And I think that's an important message that we get out today.
Not only do people need to see some good brothers doing some good stuff, but I figure if you got to give, you got to use what you got, or that gift could be taken from you, and it don't get taken like out of thin air. You just lose contact, you lose something, you lose. So that's why I say those sneakers that I might have on, or a picture, that's a conversation starter. That might give me a chance to tell somebody about how I chose it. Now it's very easy that either one of us could have been a dope pusher or whatever. It's very easy because when you broke, you just trying to get.
You're trying to get it.
We some brothers that I feel like we chose a different path, and there ain't no reason why we should be any different from anybody else who stay in trouble. But we just chose a different path. Now you do get kind of ridiculed and whatnot because it's not the hip thing to do to be straight and narrow.
Like we walk a fine line where the people that's all the way in the street. You know what I'm saying? They over here, and you got the people that's not, like your hardcore church people over here, and we're kind of right here saying, look, y'all, we love all y'all.
Yeah.
You know,
but
we got all y'all.
I don't know any other way to do it, and like I said, I just figured I got to use my gift to do what I.
So where can people reach you at now? You on the?
Hey, check me out Facebook. Or you hit me, find my name Emmitt Robinson, or Instagram.
What you got? The
Yeen Scene 78.
YEEN. SEEN.
Absolutely. Check us out.
878.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing, man.
Man, we appreciate you coming out and joining the podcast today.
Absolutely. We got to do it again.
Yes, sir.
Building, we really
SupaDopeFresh podcast with Yeen Scene. This D Black.
This me.
Bolo Fresh.
Yeen Scene.
Yeen Scene 78, y'all.
Be easy.